Okay.
Got it. So sounds like they're already on.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. How are you? It is Monday night meditation. Good to see you. I'm going to just check here to make sure that I don't have anything in chat that requires attending. I'm going to put a couple extra people on mute if you don't mind. I hope everyone is well. Libby and I are here together, just had dinner. It was very delicious. And we had a little treat that was pretty good too that she brought. I hope if you guys have eaten dinner, it was joyful, pleasant. I've been thinking about what would be a particularly useful evening practice. And as I have said before, I don't like concentration practices in the evening. I think it's a bit of a setup because the brain, you are naturally weary as you should be, right? This is 8 in the evening now. We're getting ready to quiet and settle for the day. And so I like to drop into softening, experiencing, heart opening. Someone's distressed. I'm not sure who. I hope everyone's fine. Okay, Judy, you're okay. Is everybody good there? Yeah, okay. That got my adrenaline going. So now I can probably do a concentration practice because I got a little extra verve out of that. So I was talking with Libby and I said, we've done soften, soothe, allow. We've done compassion break. And I thought we maybe could practice doing compassion for the body in its weariness, the body in its natural vulnerability, the body wherever there's a tenderness or an ache. And so I thought we might focus on a little healing with self-compassion this evening. So why don't we give that a try? We decided in the retreat that we just completed that we would be working on qualities that contribute to resilience. And we know that self-compassion is a very strong binding in a beautiful way, in a strengthening way, source for cultivating resilience. So we're going to stay with resilience and remember that that's actually also a strength building practice. So be watchful of the habit for thinking, well, self-compassion is passive, or self-compassion is self-indulgent. We often sometimes mistake self-compassion as too wooey, too vulnerable, and actually the evidence is quite the contrary, just so you know. It's the opposite. For those who bring self-compassion There is actually, we know by some of the research by Kristen Neff and Christopher Germer, we actually know that when someone was able, for example, to make a compassionate statement in the first task that they offered them in the research study, that they were guaranteed to fail. They were given a task that they couldn't be successful in. For those who were able to then make a compassionate statement about themselves, towards themselves, it's okay. You don't have to get it right the first time. Everybody makes mistakes as they're learning new things. It's all right because I can learn from this and then grow. When people could make those kinds of statements, the next task that they were given, over 80% of those who could offer that kind of statement were successful in the doable task. And the people who could not were judgmental, critical, condemning, self-blaming, self-identifying. I always get it wrong. I can't ever get it right. This always happens to me. Less than 20% of that group was actually successful, having nothing to do with intelligence. Nothing to do with intelligence. And so look at how just these qualities of mind and heart can completely change the trajectory, the capacity of us in just the kindness that we can actually extend to ourselves. So why don't we do that a little bit this evening? So if you would like to do a lying down posture, any heart-centered practice, we always encourage you to be in the most comfortable posture you can be in. And so just know, if you'd like to lie down, you can turn the video off if that feels more comfortable, a little more private for you. Just know that that's completely all right. I know you're there and listening. You're not abandoning me. So feel free, and then just be comfortable and supported. And then just for a moment before we ring the bell, see if you can just take a nice big in-breath, breathing in, filling the body, refreshing. And then a big out-breath, and really letting the whole body being soften, melt into the cushion, the floor, the surface, and relax. Let's do it again. Big in-breath when you're ready. Hold it at the top for just a second, and then a big audible ah. Now we're going to do one more. Big in when you're ready. And then let the breath breathe you, flowing naturally. We are not creating the breath. The breath is really doing itself. And see if you can feel the sense of the whole body breathing. This is an important first experience, the sense of the whole body breathing from head to toe. Forward and back. Left and right. The expanding on the in-breath. And we're actually just resting in a soft, wide lens. A soft, wide lens. You're not grabbing to any breath spot. You're just allowing this body to breathe and flow. And then we're recollecting those things we care about. The people we love, the values we hold, the good we intention. Our genuine wish to be of benefit, to cause least harm, to do so not only for oneself and one's loved ones, but in ever expanding heart circles. May this practice be a benefit to all beings everywhere without exception. This is our deepest aspiration, beginning with you. And of course, we've taken those 3 cleansing breaths, and we're just going to stay in that softened wide lens for a few moments, just making contact with the sense of the body, sitting or lying, breathing. Be watchful of the judging or evaluating self that can so quickly step in. See if you can just merge with the breath. No thinking about, no managing. And as you're letting the body breathe here, seeing if you can sustain some attention in that sense of the aliveness, the vitality, the energetic sense of the breath moving in and out of the body. And we don't try to get rid of thoughts in this practice. We simply let them move about in the background, resting and moving in the wide open space. We're just not going to grab them. We're not going to claim them. And so then we don't have to push them away. Useful to see them simply as stars twinkling in a dark night sky. And seeing if we can simply let whatever else appears beyond the breath and the body's sensations, letting them be twinkling stars, maybe the sounds of a clock or my voice. And this time we're going to change. This is a different instruction, so you're going to listen for a moment intently to this. We're going to see if we can make the body itself that sky-like quality of mind. We're going to let the whole body be as spacious, as wide, as open as the sky. Think of it as boundless, maybe edgeless. And we're going to place the attention in the body itself. Remember, holding it lightly, nothing too intense at all, just a wide, soft lens. And just letting then body sensations be like those twinkling stars. You're not zeroing in, you're just holding that wide open space. Letting it twitch and itch, maybe pressure. Letting them come and go like little twinkling stars in this big sky quality of mind body. And let's spend a few minutes here just knowing this body in this open, spacious way. Letting the body continue to relax, to rest. You'll begin to notice that there are pleasant sensations and sometimes less pleasant, and sometimes sensations that are dramatically neutral. I can feel the contact of the weight of the upper body, for example, in my seat. That's pretty neutral. And then when you touch into a sensation, I'd like you to be able to stay in that part of the body for at least 2 to 3 breaths. Just inquiring, investigating, bringing that curiosity, that interest, that deep friendliness. And if no particular sensation sort of rings out, it's fine to just gently scan the body, holding that wide, soft lens. And we're going to offer a bit of compassion to the body this evening as we're just resting in the wide open sky-like quality of the body, edgeless, boundaryless, just the body and its continual changing, shifting. When a particular sensation arises, where you notice any quality of unpleasant or a tightness, let's say, maybe a ache or a tension in some way. If you're able, I'd like you to take your hand and then place it on that area, or as close or as useful to that area as you can. And I'm noticing just a little tightness between my shoulder blades. I'm not going to be able to get my hand there. So I'm actually going to place my hand on the front of the body, knowing that I can actually generate some attention and intention towards the back. Rather than brace against, tense up, push away, reject, wish or otherwise, we're actually going to turn towards that little tension, tightness, ache, tenderness, whatever's there. And we're going to offer first just our own hands in contact with ourselves. And then we're going to invite the feeling for ourselves. Opening our hearts to ourselves right here in this one little part of the body. And so we bring a kind and gentle attention. We breathe towards, and then if we can, breathe into this area. If we can, if that feels right. And now with the hands already bringing greater intention for friendliness, greater attention, we now offer a soothing or healing or some form of kindness or compassion. And it can be a very simple phrase, may you feel better. May you be well. May this part of the body be healed or well. But maybe encouraging acceptance, may I soften and open to this experience exactly as it is. We may want to remind ourselves about our own loving presence, that which is always available. I am here with you. So what would you offer to someone else is sometimes a way to think of it who was experiencing this difficulty. I hope you feel better. Is there any way I can help you? Maybe something simple like I love you. Just notice what comes. And you don't have to think about the languaging really so much. That should really just come up from the open heartedness that you are extending to yourself, acknowledging this little sensation without going down the rabbit hole. Really staying open, receptive, softening rather than tightening up. Maybe I am deserving of this care. And then I just want you to feel the impact of that gentleness, that tenderness, that care, right here in this very part of the body. Placing the hands, breathing directly towards and into, softening the body, and offering that kindness and compassion. We have to be watchful of the striving self that may be hoping that we can get a particular thing to go away. And actually, the more beautiful practice is to see if we can simply be with the experience, with openness, with kindness, with compassion. However it is, moment by moment. And if you notice that there's a neutralizing in any way of the experience, so that it's very difficult to get any perceptual sense, you can just come back to rest in that big sky, mind and body, holding the body like the dark night sky, letting sensations twinkle, light up. There may be many sensations. You may only be in a particular area for 2 to 3 breaths. In my case, just as an example again, I've just been called to stay between the shoulder blades. There's just enough there. I want to hang out a while and stay with, be with. we can actually use our very somatic sensory experience as a mirror of the quality of mind we're holding. And so, what I'm just noticing again is as I wish this would go away, I notice a kind of contraction, a little tightening, a little tensing, and the ache is a little greater. And when I just say, we're just going to be with this just like it is, no need for it to be different, I'm going to be here with you and this experience, then I notice an incredible softening. Noticing how the quality of mind impacts the body and the body experience. May I be well. May I have ease. May I hold in loving presence this experience. And then we could even move from a body sensation to a particularly distressing or challenging thought. And I'd like you to pick something in the evening that's mild, maybe a thought or an emotion, something you've experienced in the last day that was distressing gently or taxing in some small way. If nothing comes to mind, just staying in the body. Maybe a moment of judging oneself. And just like with that body sensation, rather than just contracting and falling into the habit of resisting and pushing away, seeing if we can just hold that experience gently, holding it in loving presence. And remembering that research study for a moment where people who could just accept their experience and could offer themselves kindness or compassion were able to actually create and cultivate qualities of wisdom, resilience, the ability to continue, to persevere, to begin again. What would you need to hear to stay open to this moment, to cultivate qualities of wisdom, understanding? We make mistakes on the path to wisdom. I don't have to be perfect to be good enough. Can I accept myself as I am with kindness? And see the impact that this open-heartedness might offer yourself, even in this moment of difficulty. And for some people who struggle with this, we can sometimes imagine that part of you, that vulnerable or human part of you, that distressed part of you at a younger age, deserving of support, of love. And seeing what you would have wanted, what could have been offered that would have been helpful, been nourishing. Maybe just knowing someone was there. And being that loving presence for yourself. It's all right. You are deserving of love and attention. And seeing how you can continue for the last few moments to just soak in this loving presence. For some people, we've talked about sometimes there's a visual that can happen that can feel nourishing, nurturing, and loving. A gentle kiss on the brow, hug, a gentle embrace. Someone just taking you by the hand. And in this way, as we are a source for our own tenderness, our own vulnerability, our own humanness, we can begin to cultivate a heart-mind space that can be open, receptive, loving to others. And just breathing back for a few moments into the whole body. Letting go of the edges of the body, letting the whole body begin to melt, relax, no inside, outside. Feeling into the open heart. Sensing all the room and space that is there. Boundless, limitless, as vast and open as the sky. And then maybe gathering up all our moments of perceived failure, confusion, aggression, judgment. There's room enough there for them all. And offering these phrases of loving kindness and compassion. May I have happiness, true happiness. Breathing it in, letting it permeate the whole body. May I be free from fear, from harm, from all danger. May I have ease and well-being. And may I rest and dwell in my true nature, kind, loving, compassionate. And may I offer this to myself. Breathing it in and infusing the whole body. with each breath. Breathe in loving presence. May we all be well. May we all be free from suffering. May we all have peace. And may we offer this practice today, that this may be realized. This day is good. Let this day be done. I hope that you have a restful remainder of your day and evening. Please know I'm thinking about you. Much love to you all. And blessings. I look forward to seeing those of you who will be around tomorrow morning at 7. If not, please have a beautiful rest of your evening. Be well, everyone.